Hello dear students, my name is Galya Viner and I'm an English teacher at the Air Force Technological College in Beersheba. Today you are going to have an English lesson with me and today we'll talk about expressing an opinion. Now this is meant to be a writing lesson. Obviously under these circumstances I cannot check your writing and help you to fix your grammar mistakes or whatever other mistakes. But I'm going to talk about it and I would like you to focus on the idea and about thinking while you're writing, okay? Now, expressing an opinion, us as Israelis, we love to express our opinion on various topics, on everything basically, but there is a very important thing that we sometimes forget, and as teenagers, you guys forget, I'm sorry, as a teacher, but you're trying to convince us and we are trying to convince each other without giving any arguments, okay? So we're just expressing our opinion, but what's the goal? The goal is to convince the others that we are right, and this is exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about comments and opinions. Now, comments is something that you see on a daily basis, many times a day. We will learn and practice how to express an opinion correctly. We will learn how to brainstorm and plan, and we will also read an example of a good opinion essay, and this is something applicable to school, okay, and to academic life in general. All right, so I would like to ask your opinion in the very beginning, and you may practice your speaking this way. I'm going to ask you a question, and you may answer in your head, or you may answer out loud. Nobody can hear you. Nobody will laugh at you in case you're shy. Or if you don't know what to answer, you may just repeat after me, and that way to practice your speaking. Okay? Now, the first question is, are video games dangerous? Dangerous. Do you think are video games dangerous? Think, what would you answer this question? Now you may have answered yes, they are addictive and they're a big waste of time. And another opinion would be no, they are fun and help us to meet people around the world. Obviously talking about online gaming, and that is another opinion. Yes, they are addictive and a big waste of time. Or no, they are fun and help us to meet people around the world. Obviously, there are so many ways you could answer this question. These are just my suggestions, and your answers are obviously fine as well. So the next question I would like to ask you, now you may guess from the picture in current situation right now. Something happened and I don't see the screen, sorry. Okay. Do teachers assign too much homework? Do teachers assign too much homework? My students, what do you think? Those who I assigned so much homework in the last weeks. Do teachers assign too much homework? What would you answer this question? Yes, we have many other things to do. This is what I hear in my WhatsApp groups constantly. Or no, if they say it should be done, they know what they are doing. Less popular opinion, but fine. Okay, do teachers assign too much homework? And yeah, the next question that was discussed in our country a couple of years ago. Okay, should the government ban plastic bags completely? Okay, I would like to draw your attention to the word should. Now, should is used for the recommendation, okay? Now here, is it recommended to the government if they are supposed to, right? The government ban plastic bags completely. So should they do that? Yes, they cause too much harm to the environment, whatever is around us. So they cause too much harm to the environment. Or no, I don't think that they are that harmful, and there are many things that are worse. This is also an opinion, and both of them are acceptable. Good job, great. Let's move on. Where do we usually see opinions? We see opinions in our everyday life all the time. Take a look at the pictures. Maybe you would you could have some idea. Where do we see opinions? Now, first of all, of course, we see opinions at the elections, and this is what happened in our country 3 times last year. Different people express their opinions by voting, and we see opinions at the elections. Now, this is something that we use every day. We see opinions on social media. On social media, different kinds of opinions. We comment, we put like, or we don't put like. This is also an opinion. If somebody isn't getting enough or isn't getting many, then that content is less popular, okay, and maybe less acceptable by most people, okay. So that is social media. We also see it with friends when you discuss some topic, or even in the simplest things like where should you guys go when you decide whether you want to go to the restaurant or to the mall or hang out at somebody's house. This is also a form of expressing an opinion with friends. Okay, we also see opinions at work. Those of you who already worked or helped your parents or your family, you see different opinions at work as well. And we see opinions in the news all the time, especially in this current situations we're all in now. We watch news every evening or sometimes from the whole day long. And we see different experts that give their opinions on specific issues. And the last one here, but obviously not in general, with a family, right? Your mom thinks that you should go to sleep at 9, at 10, but your opinion that you do not have school tomorrow, you do not need to wake up at 6, 7, you can hang out until midnight, okay? Yeah. Why expressing an opinion? So many people think that why would I even open my mouth to say anything? Why expressing an opinion? Now, you should express your opinion because of the numerous reasons. You will appear more confident if you express your opinion. You could make a change. Your opinion could be unique, and you can make a change, and someone maybe haven't thought that before, and you're going to say this idea and make a change. You'll drive discussion. Now, if you are at a workplace or in class or with your friends, by saying your opinion, it could be controversial opinion, and you can drive a discussion and be the person who moves the whole group. Now, if you're wrong, you will learn why. Now, this is not always a pleasant experience, but this is also fine. We're learning from everything, and this is completely fine to be wrong as well. There is nothing wrong with that. You will learn why, and yeah, maybe change your mind, which is also okay. You could be the voice of majority, and we're going to speak about this further. And you will improve your speaking skills. And I wrote here in any language, of course, expressing opinion in English or in Hebrew or in Arabic is very important, and it's going to develop your speaking skills. But you will look for new words, you will look for arguments to prove your point of view, and that way you will improve your speaking skills. Now, why expressing an opinion? One, there are people that are called influencers. I think that you've heard that word before. And previously, on the previous slide, we said that one of the reasons why it's important to express an opinion is because you could be the voice of majority, or you can make a change. Now, let's take a look at Greta. I think that you've heard about her in the last 2 years. She's been all over the place. Greta Thunberg has gained international recognition for promoting the awareness of climate change. Okay, so this is the problem or the issue she was talking about. She was only 15 years old, just about your age, when she went on a strike alone outside the Swedish parliament. And since then, Greta received numerous awards, became one of the 100 most influential people, and got nominated for the Nobel Prize twice, in 2019 and in 2020. Okay, so this is Greta making a change at her very, very young age. Now, her difference from many teenagers is that she didn't only express her opinion, she knew how to prove she is right. And right now we're going to watch a short video with her, with a part of her speech at the climate, I think it was a climate forum. And while watching this video, please think of what words does she use to convince people she is right, okay? She's using the specific words to convince others, okay? For others to see her and to hear her, okay? So let's take a look.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight? You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe.
Okay, great. Pretty interesting, right? Pretty inspirational for some people, I believe. Now, what words does she use in order to convince other people she's right, to support her opinion? Let's first of all just just look at the manner, the way she's talking. She's very, very emotional. She's speaking about a problem, a global problem, and what is it? It's a climate change and world leaders not taking action, right? And how does she support her opinion? You had a chance to think about that, to listen to what she was saying. What does she do? How does she support her opinion? By saying that people are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing, destroying, and are being destroyed. And the science has been crystal clear, meaning that throughout the years, scientists have been talking about that, and leaders are not taking any action. So this is Greta. Okay, now another example for someone who also publicly expresses his opinion about important issues is Joaquin Phoenix, and he is a famous Hollywood actor and producer. In 2020, he received Oscar for his role in Joker, and he's all known for his animal rights activism. He took part in numerous campaigns and donated a lot of money for the cause. Okay, for the cause meaning animal rights activism, right? For that. Now let's take a look at his speech. And what does he say to convince people to change their behavior? And his goal is for people to change their behavior, right? He expressed his opinion, and then he uses some words to convince, to prove that he's right. Now let's take a look at his speech.
God, I'm full of so much gratitude right now, and I do not feel elevated above any of my fellow nominees or anyone in this room, because we share the same love, the love of film, and this form of expression has given me the most extraordinary life. I don't know what I'd be without it, but I think the greatest gift that it's given me, and many of us in this room, is the opportunity to use our voice for the voiceless. I've been thinking a lot about some of the distressing issues that we are facing collectively. And I think at times we feel, or we're made to feel, that we champion different causes. But for me, I see commonality. I think whether we're talking about gender inequality or racism or queer rights or indigenous rights or animal rights, we're talking about the fight against injustice. We're talking about the fight against the belief that one nation, one people, one race, one gender, or one species has the right to dominate, control, and use and exploit another with impunity. I think that we've become very disconnected from the natural world, and many of us, what we're guilty of is an egocentric worldview, the belief that we're the center of the universe. We go into the natural world and we plunder it for its resources. We feel entitled to artificially inseminate a cow, and when she gives birth, we steal her baby, even though her cries of anguish are unmistakable. And then we take her milk that's intended for her calf, and we put it in our coffee and our cereal. We fear the idea of personal change because we think that we have to sacrifice something to give something up. But human beings at our best are so inventive and creative and ingenious. And I think that when we use love and compassion as our guiding principles, we can create, develop, and implement systems of change that are beneficial to all sentient beings and to the environment. I've been a scoundrel in my life. I've been selfish. I've been cruel at times, hard to work with, and ungrateful. But so many of you in this room have given me a second chance. And I think that's when we're at our best, when we support each other, not when we cancel each other out for past mistakes, but when we help each other to grow, when we educate each other, when we guide each other towards redemption. That is the best of humanity. When he was 17, my brother wrote this lyric. He said, "Run to the rescue with love and peace will follow." Thank you.
Okay, so this was a very emotional speech as well. I hope you enjoyed it, just as I did. What does he say to convince people to change their behavior? Now, he's talking about the problem. What's the problem? The problem is fighting against injustice, okay? Something that is not fair, injustice, and he's talking about giving voice to the voiceless. Those who cannot speak for themselves are voiceless. And how does he try to convince people to make a change? What do you think? What did you see? What did he do? He gives an example of people exploiting animals, and that's a negative example. And then he speaks of compassion and humanity. That's a positive example. He speaks about how people could change what they have already done. Okay? Now, great. Let's just take a look. Now you're going to have a break, a 10-minute break. I would like to remind you that we are speaking about opinions. We're talking about how to express our opinions, and we talked until now. We took a look at a couple of examples at Joaquin Phoenix and about Greta that express their opinions and are trying to convince other people that they are right and that their opinion is correct and there should be a change. We talked about where we usually see the opinions, and we talked about why it's important to express our opinions. So enjoy your break, and we will continue after. And welcome back, dear students. I hope you had a good break and you had some rest. Let's move on and let's get back to our lesson. I would like to remind you that the topic of our lesson is expressing opinions, and we talked about why it's important to express an opinion, how to express an opinion. We just looked at the examples of how to express opinions, and now we're going to learn how to do that. In order to do that, let's just take a look at some words that may help you to express your opinion. Now, on the left side, you may see the words, and then they may be new, maybe not that new. And this is fine. For those who know those words, for those who don't know those words, this is fine. We're going to learn them today and practice them as well. For those who know those words, think about those words. How would you explain them to a person who knows only English, or to a person who, with who the only common language is English, okay? How would you explain that word to them? Okay, so the first word is can't stand. When I can't, this is actually an expression, right? Because two of those words, when we use them separately, we use them in a different way a little bit, right? So can't stand, when I can't stand something, it means that I hate someone or something, okay? I can't stand chocolate ice cream per se, okay? I like vanilla. I can't stand it, all right? On the right, you may see the translations to your language. In case if my explanation wasn't completely clear. Now, ability is a talent or a skill. That's an ability, something that I'm able to do, something that I can do is an ability. The next word is grateful. When I'm grateful, it means that I'm thankful, okay? This is basically a synonym, and synonyms are words with the same meaning, okay? So grateful is a synonym of a word thankful. Then I may say that I'm grateful to my students. You taught me a lot of things, okay? I'm teaching you, you're teaching me, and I'm very, very grateful. Now, the next one is disappointment. Okay, I would like to draw your attention to this. Okay, to this. Okay, D-I-S. This usually, many times. Okay, I wouldn't say usually. Many times means something negative. Okay, disappointment is a sad feeling caused by someone or something failing to meet expectations. Okay, then it means that I thought of something, but it appeared to be something else, and then I have this not nice feeling, right? A sad feeling. It's a feeling of disappointment. Okay, let's move on. The next one is a combination, all right? A combination. Again, I would like to draw your attention to T-I-O-N. Many times T-I-O-N is added to nouns. Nouns, it's something or someone. Okay, combination. Now, combination is basically a mix. Okay, that's a combination. Right. Now, according to, you may see this for those who have ever seen Bagrut examination unseen. You meet it so many times. You also can meet this word, this combination actually of two words in the news or in different articles. And generally, when we're speaking about someone and passing someone's ideas to someone else, we may say according to. When we refer to someone, okay, I may say that according to my mother, I should go to sleep at 10. Okay, that's according to my mother. According to me, I have a different opinion on that case. Okay, so that is according to. Recently, something that happened not long ago. That's recently. Now, recently, the whole education changed. Okay, and now we're studying through the computer, through the videos, with the help of videos. Okay, that happened recently, not a long time ago, a couple of weeks ago. Recently. The next one is furious. Furious is very, very angry. Now, You may know Fast and Furious, right? A lot of you know that movie, have heard of it and seen it, right? So furious means very, very angry. Trends, so it's one trend and many trends. We add s for nouns when we speak in plural, plural, many things. Now trends are basically fashion, okay? Something that you hear a lot, something that is, you know, something that you see, okay? Something that is in fashion, but it doesn't necessarily mean clothes. There could be trends in clothes, right? But there could be trends in something else. Now, TikTok is really trendy nowadays, okay? It did not really exist a couple of years ago, but it's very trendy now, okay? So it's in fashion, okay? The next one is recent, and recent is something that happened not long ago. It's a little bit different from recently, because recent we use with the noun, okay? Recent news, okay? Recent change, okay? So that is recent. Okay, now let's just do a short exercise on matching the words to their definition, and these are the words that you have seen in the previous slides and in the list that we just read. Okay, so having happened not long time ago, something that happened not long time ago. What is it? Recently, according to, furious, trends, or recent. Take a look. What do you think is the answer? The answer is recent. The next one is fashion, not necessarily clothes fashion, anything, basically anything that is trendy is fashion, okay? And the next one is not long ago, something that happened not long ago, it happened recently. When we refer to someone, we say according to our prime minister, according to my teacher, according to my mother. And when I'm very, very, very angry, I obviously do not write very, very, very angry, okay? I write furious, or I say furious, okay? This is the correct way to express your feelings, your feeling of anger. Okay, now, in the next exercise, you need to replace the words in bold with the words below, and that means that they have the same meaning with the words below, and there are extra words. So we've got trends, fashion, meaning fashion, right? Recently, according to, furious, disappointment, ability, combination, grateful, and can't stand. The first sentence, Lee is really thankful for the surprise party you made for her last week. So the synonym for thankful is the word, what is it? Is the word grateful, okay? So she's really grateful. Number 2, I don't like horror movies. I can't stand horror movies. I can't stand is a little bit stronger than don't like, but still counts. In the opinion of doctors, Meg was lucky to survive the accident. So we refer to the doctors, we can say according to instead of saying in the opinion of. Number 4, we're studying a mixture or a mix, right? A mixture of British and American literature. This is what you're going to study next year, and in the 11th grade and in 12th grade. Okay, so we're studying a mixture. A mixture is a combination, right? Now, the next sentence, they were very angry that they weren't invited. When they're very angry, that means that they are, what are they? They are furious. Lately, Ben hasn't had any time to see his old friends, right? We are all in that situation right now, okay? And Ben as well, and that happened to him lately. Lately is recently. Jane always follows the latest fashions. And fashions, we said that it's trends. Okay, great. Now, how do you need to, right? Express your opinion. How do you usually express your opinion? That's what I meant to say. Basic expression of opinion is, in the modern word is a comment, right? Comments often include a couple of, they have a specific structure, right? And they include the following. They include a sentence that clearly expresses your opinion, okay? That is a sophisticated comment. reasons and or examples to support your opinion, and a suggestion. A suggestion is something that you propose instead of something you aren't agree with, in case if you aren't agree with that, with something, right? Let's take a look at two comments that were, now this is the first comment, and let's answer questions that follow after these comments, and you may see what problem they are talking about. You may think, right? You may, if you have any idea what is the problem they're talking about, right? They're commenting on. So let's read a comment. Why does every generation of adults worry so much about how some new technology will affect the children? Haven't they learned that they can't stop progress? It seems to me that this article is making a big deal out of nothing. I send a lot of text messages every day because it's easy and quick. That doesn't mean that I don't have close friends. Okay, so obviously this someone who's commenting is talking about technology and texting. Let's see, and I already answered your question, but maybe you could formulate it in another way. What do you think is the subject of discussion? What do you think is the subject? Okay, maybe think of the general issue, of the general problem. And this problem is the influence of new technology on children. Okay, the influence of new technology on children. The next question is, who do you think wrote this comment and why? Now, the answer is, who do you think? What do you think is the answer? It was a teenager. Why do you think it's a teenager? How could we explain, how could we prove that it's a teenager? Because he uses or she uses word adults, right? Yeah, basically, because when you refer to adults, maybe you aren't an adult yourself, right? Yeah, and this kind of language is also a bit questioning, a bit, I wouldn't say aggressive, but kind of, you know, okay. The next question is, which words of expression or expressions show that the writer is expressing an opinion? Now, we just take a look at this paragraph very quick, at this comment, and these words are, it seems to me, okay, it seems to me, okay, and yeah, and that way the writer is expressing his or her opinion. And what reasons and examples are given now? Okay, the reasons are the main reason is that the main explanation is that the commenter, he's sending a lot of messages every day and still has friends. Okay, that doesn't mean I don't have close friends. It means that he or she has friends. Okay, nevertheless, he or she is using his or her phone a lot. Okay, and the next comment. All parents should read this article. I believe that we must do something about this problem before it's too late. My 10-year-old daughter has owned a cell phone since she was in first grade. Before I read this article, she used to go to bed with her phone and text her friends for hours. Now she's always on the house phone, but at least she's talking, not texting. Okay, who do you think wrote this comment? And why? Okay, it is obviously a parent because he or she says, right, that my 10-year-old daughter. And which words or expressions show that the writer is expressing an opinion? Okay, he is saying that I believe, right, here it is, I believe. Okay, but I believe is an expression that we use in order to speak about our opinions, and what reasons and examples are given. Before I read, she used to go to bed with her phone. Okay, that's an example to this phrase. We must do something. Why? Because she used to go to bed with her phone and text her friends for hours. Okay, now usually in a school framework, you're asked to write an essay or a composition to express your opinion. Now, here I would like to show you the example of expressing your opinion on the following topic. And the topic is, are video games a good way to keep fit? Okay, are video games a good way to keep fit? Now, the basic structure of the writing of the composition is introduction, body, and conclusion. You've got 3 parts in the composition: introduction, body, and conclusion, right? The first step to your writing should be brainstorming. Now, I know that many students just sort of start writing and they write everything that they have in their heads, and that is basically the first part. That is the first step, what they should be doing. But first they need to just to brainstorm, and then they need to organize their thoughts. But they only brainstorm. The correct way to do this is first brainstorm. And speaking of video games is our topic. And you need to, in your introduction, you would say, what do you think? Okay, you just express your opinion. Then you give one reason, the first reason. In the body, you give the first reason, and then you give an example or some kind of argument proving that you are right. And then you give the second reason and the second example, and that would be your body. And in the end, in the conclusion, you give the summary of what you have talked about before. Now, let's take a look at the example. The first one, the second step is introduction, and you need to speak about what you think. Okay, let's take a look at the example already. Nowadays, many teenagers have got video consoles at home, and they often like playing active video games. But are they good or bad? I personally think these are good for you for a number of reasons. Now, you may see in this introductory paragraph that whoever is writing it, they first stated their opinion, okay? In the end of the paragraph, they stated their opinion. I think these are good, okay? They asked a rhetorical question. A rhetorical question is a question that doesn't require answer, okay? And this is the introduction. Now, in your body, you need to present 2 arguments and support them by reasons and examples. So let's just take a look at the example. First of all, video games are a good way to keep fit. Okay, so that's the first reason. There are lots of different types of exercise you can do, such as basketball, water skiing, and dance. And what's more, and you can play them in the comfort of your own home. Okay, so here they're basically presenting the first reason, okay, and giving an example, right? The exercise that you can exercise by playing basketball and water skiing and dancing at the comfort of your home. Okay, so you're being given a reason, and then you're giving an example. Okay, the next paragraph goes like this. In my opinion, now this is an expression that we use in order to speak of our opinions, to express our opinions. These games are fun and interactive because you can play them with friends. If you play online, you don't need to be in the same place as your friend to play. Okay, they're also fun, and this is the second reason. And this is your example, right? You play online and you don't have to be in the same place as your friend to play. Okay, so we are a little bit short on time. That's why I'm skipping a couple of slides. I apologize for that. Let's take a look at the conclusion. In order to conclude your opinion essay, you need to write a paragraph where you restate your opinion using different words, okay? Now you need to... You don't say the same thing that you already said, but you sort of need to summarize what's been said already, okay? You don't need to introduce new ideas or apologize for your views, but you can end with a warning, ask a provocative question, or suggest consequences, okay? And in this case, the conclusion goes this way. To sum up, this is one of the phrases that we may use to end our essay. that video games are a fun and social way to keep fit. I think they are a good option when you can't play outside, and they might encourage people to do more exercise. Okay, to sum up, they just restated their opinion in other words, and this was the conclusion. Now, in this lesson today, we talked about expressing your opinions. I gave you a couple of examples of how famous people express their opinions and how they convinced others that they are right, and convinced others to take an action and to make a change. I apologize for the last part that I sort of ran through it. I hope it was also informative, and it will help you in your further writing in class. You are welcome to write your opinion essay and maybe give it to your teachers in order for them to check it and practice your writing. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye. Good luck.